Hello, everybody. So we are back yet again, another benefit release. This time it is May 16th, 1994 is the official release, and proceeds from this will benefit communities affected by the recent fires in Los Angeles. The Wiltern Theater, if I did not already mention, is where the show took place in Los Angeles. Summer of 1994, one of my favorite tours, and this show was no exception to the rule of every show was pretty much good. Now, the one thing separating this, maybe keeping it out of the great category, keeping it off people's lists as the all-timer, was there was some standard stuff thrown in there, just enough. It wasn't just like go from the get-go all the time like some shows, some sets were in 1994 and many other years. So that was the only thing really lacking here, and maybe not lacking, I should say. The only thing included were just moments where they would just play a normal song in a normal fashion and then move on to the next part, which then, things might get crazy shortly thereafter. There wasn't a whole lot of downtime, but there was some downtime. Even, shall I say, some skippable moments. Maybe we should just get to this, huh? Oh, so let's go. Here we are. The first set was fine. It was a good, very good first set, really. In fact, but Stash is really where it was at, and it got a little bit too crazy. Maybe a bit crazy for me. I don't know about some of the. I like it when it goes just right to the edge of being crazy and chaotic, and doesn't just go full chaos. This one, nearly went full chaos. In fact, I think it did. All right. It didn't suck or anything. It's not. I'm not trying to pin that on our highlight of the set, Stash. I didn't really like that they ended both sets with no mics, and that was the thing holding this one back, if anything. Maybe it is on one of your lists of top shows. So many greats in summer of '94 that this one had a bit too many down moments, though. And then even songs that were fine, played well and everything, but Axilla II and Rift didn't necessarily fit like an overall theme like you got in the second set with Big Black Furry Creatures from Mars, obviously kind of dominating the second set. So the first set really, it was a cool start. Buried Alive, Poor Heart, Sample in a Jar, then Divided Sky, The Rift, and Axilla II, as I mentioned. And then Bouncing Around the Room. The mid to late second set, Down with Disease, was cool, but only in comparison to because of how it's played and what we get now. So it was slightly different. I don't know. Maybe I'm not going back to, if I could put myself back in '94, maybe this first set wasn't necessarily why we're getting an official release at this point. So the second set, in fact, is why, though. So it opens up with a quick 2001. They run through it real quickly. While it was excellent, though, that was, certainly keep that on the list if you're going to re-listen to the show or listen to it for the first time, perhaps. So it takes off on Antelope, and then Antelope, there was times when it sounded like maybe like they were playing something familiar. I don't know. I couldn't tell. There was nothing listed as a tease officially in Antelope, so I think it was just they were just some nice playing, kind of headlined by Trey, of course. And then it eventually works its way into Big Black Furry Creatures from Mars. And the first part, like both segments of the Antelope and the Big Black Furry Creatures from Mars, maybe some accusations that they didn't do a lot of improvised jamming in '94. And I do wonder if was this totally on the fly. Like at one point there was a song, maybe Axilla II, you could hear Trey kind of call out to the band. Sometimes I think stuff is more planned than we would like to think. And then obviously there's many things that happen on the fly. I do wonder, though, if the Antelope, Big Black Furry Creatures from Mars, maybe while not planned, maybe had talked about it at a certain point. I mean, even something about that Buried Alive opener. I don't know what this is all this time later here in the second set, but I'm like, hey, there was something going on there. I don't know. I'm not sure. Pure speculation at this point. But I do wonder, was it kind of pre-planned or did it just kind of go? I don't think the plan was certainly for Big Black Furry Creatures from Mars to dominate the entire set, really. But the Antelope was so cool. Both sides of the Big Black Furry Creatures from Mars. Both sides of it was very good. The Antelope in and out of it. Then there's a run through Sparkle and It's Ice. Yeah, It's Ice from this show is fantastic. When they get into the jam segment towards the end, Page really starts to go, as he often does in It's Ice. But then Trey tries to jump in. I don't know what Trey was trying to do there. It wasn't funky. It wasn't really psychedelic. It was just he was playing around a little bit. Maybe he's trying to get somewhere in the spacey neighborhood, but that is not the direction Page was wanting to go. So he just goes hard, man, and just essentially musically pushes Trey out of the way. Trey just bows out. He's like, all right, I can take a hint. Mike Gordon, however, was like, I can play with this. I am no coward. I will challenge Page McConnell. It was very good. It's ice. Then so Julius comes in again. You know, I don't know if you're into Julius or not, but You Enjoy Myself is what you need to get to, because it may have stolen the show. While I said Big Black Furry Creatures from Mars dominated the set and kind of took over, the You Enjoy Myself was like, you know, not so fast. I may take the gold medal after all. Stash certainly knocked off, maybe even knocked off the podium at this point. It's down to Antelope, You Enjoy Myself, Big Black Furries, Creatures from Furries. Oh man, you don't want to mess with no furries, man. So, and then again, Amazing Grace with no mics, although it did not end the set. I think I said both sets ended with no mics. We got one more Big Black Furry, Creatures from Mars. And then a Fee Rocky Top encore. So really, you got the craziness of a 94 show, but then maybe just too many, just okay, regular, standard down moments, maybe, perhaps. You know, the summer of 94, to reach that upper echelon of shows from this run of shows, you just pretty much need to step on the gas from the word go and never stop. Many shows like that. July 16th, the Columbus show, the OJ show. There's just a few. There were others. Red Rocks. This probably would be tier 2, you know? All right, so that's about it. I think that's about all I got. I don't know. About half the video, I was battling something in my eye. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I was trying to say Big Black Furry, Creatures from Mars, as many times as possible. I said furries once, though. That's shameful. You ever been to a furry convention? I have not. I heard, though, a friend of mine, in fact, say a friend, but a girl that I used to date, you know, we went our separate ways. She went on, she got married, she had children. She took her daughter to a furry convention. Young girl. Might just be total, it might be the innocence of a child, but I don't know if I condone that. I know what goes on at those furry conventions. You guys really ain't no furries watching, huh? I doubt it. All right, enough about furries. This was Phish. Some call him the P-Fish. I haven't lately. It's been a while. What's going on with the P-Fish? It's a question my father once asked. Getting ready to hit the West, Dad. Boom. We're out of here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the official release, Phish. Victims of the fires, hope things are getting better for you. I've been watching you on YouTube. They nearly lost it all. They did lose it all. That's why Phish is releasing this. All these guys do is benefits, man. They're giving away all their money again. I know I've talked about this in the past, but hey, the more money they give away, the longer they got to play. It's good for us. All right, I'm out of here. This went on way too long. Thank you. Boom.